Hey guys, Steve Zonardo here with Remax West Zonardo Associates. Happy Wednesday morning. It's July 15th. It is my birthday, so I'm going to wrap this out real quick so I can take a half a day off. Inventory, 15,339 units. Very similar to last week. No big news there. The big news is the underlying information. We're actually 2,300 units sold in 7 days, which is fantastic. This is basically, if we kind of do it year over year and which month this resembles most, it's going to probably be end of March, mid-April to first week of May type activity. So that's very positive news. Real estate's on fire. Let's just talk about that. Positive news, Doug Ford's starting the phase 3 procedure through the outer skirts of Ontario, and then ultimately move it into the more condensed areas like Toronto, GTA and stuff like that, which is cool. So that's pretty good. Very positive news. Gatherings up to 100 people. We get to sit in restaurants finally, and et cetera, et cetera. But reality is, Phase 3 will be in place until there's a vaccine, a vaccine available for residents. So what's going to happen now is who's going to take it, who's willing to take it, and who's going to be forced to take it. So I think that's going to be huge. And when is it going to be available? So Phase 3 looks like a reality probably next six to 8 months, at least, even a year. But Phase 3 is not too bad. If real estate in our business was resilient through lockdown, phase 1, 2, I think phase 3 is quite positive moving forward. With that said, there's some news even with cottage properties. I remember I reported back in March when we were in lockdown. I said, a lot of elusive properties that we couldn't afford let's say up north in Muskoka or the Kawarthas, like stunning properties that were just well out of our budget came available at a better pricing. So keep that an eye on them, which they did. We had about a month of cottage properties that were just being sold off because people were just paranoid because they had these big mortgages, they depended on Airbnb, and that wasn't functioning, so they unloaded their assets. And who's buying them is interesting, because if you kind of look at the new norm of going forward, is that people will work from home. I think now businesses saw that their employees are still very productive at home, so ultimately why not keep them at home so they can kind of release some of their square footage in leased spaces so they can resume or reduce expenses and ultimately get the same work amount done, so which is good. And what's happening with that is people are selling out in the suburbs and then moving up north, because if you're going to work from home, why not do it by a lake? I think that's quite stunning. And I think the other part of the buyers here is basically people in the city, in Toronto or in the suburbs, where it's like, during lockdown we were in subdivision houses and stuff like that. Could you imagine having a cottage? At least you're up north, you're away from everybody, it's a lot less dense with population, and you're going to have a better time, let's say. So so there's a huge demand in Muskoka and the Kawarthas. Basically all the cottage properties right now are selling off, and they're selling off fast. Realtors are basically reporting that they haven't had this much activity in years, so that's good news for them. That's exciting for that market for sure. And I think going forward, that's going to be a new norm where people are going to want outdoor spaces. And even COVID, when we were in lockdown, myself personally, is that I set a goal for 2025 to finally build our own property on 5 to 10 acres here in King somewhere. So that's a new goal. And COVID actually forced me to do that because, being an outdoorsy type person, stuck in a subdivision house in a regular lot, it's a little bit punishing when it'd be a lot more fun on a farm, right? That's pretty much it, guys. And yeah, another thing is even job growth. They're saying here about 208,000 new jobs were created in Canada. I don't know if this is the CERB ending and now it looks like they've been reemployed by the same companies, but it doesn't matter. It means 208,000 people have gone back to work in May, or April and May, which is fantastic. It means our market is on fire. So let's keep it positive. Let's keep moving. Have a great day, guys. Ciao.